Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Two questions that everyone asks me is that I have this profile, so am I eligible? And another question is that people create their express entry profile and then they comment that their profile is ineligible. Okay, so one reason is obviously proof of fund. Okay, another reason is maybe they are not even eligible, the 67 points, right? So these are basically minimum eligibility points. Okay, and it is a total of 100 points. So you need at least 67 points if you want to be eligible for express entry, and then you will be able to create your express entry profile. Okay, now this video is basically for the viewers who do not really have a complete grasp of the subject of express entry. Okay, so first of all, you need to be eligible, then you can create your express entry profile. For becoming eligible, you need a certain level of Ielts and you need a certain level of education evaluated by the ECA bodies. Okay, so in this video I will show you on the official IRCC website. Now back in the day, we used to calculate manually on a calculator that what are the minimum eligibility points. Okay, like 10 plus 20 plus 12, like this. But now they have a tool available on their website. We'll leave the link of that tool in the description box, and you can check it and you can actually put your profile on it, and then you would come to know whether you are eligible for express entry or not. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, so the first question is, which province do you plan to live in? And we make a decision here. Okay, you see there is no option of all provinces. Okay, so we're gonna say Manitoba. Okay, we're interested in living in Manitoba. The second question is, well, Canada's official languages are English and French. We all know that. So you need to submit language test result for all programs under Express Entry. All the PNP programs that are aligned with Express Entry, even if English or French is your first language, you need to take this exam. Okay, so they're asking which language test did you take for your first official language. Okay, there are two options for English and two options for French. Okay, so we're gonna go with Ielts. The third question, that is, what date did you take this test? Okay, they ask this question because they want to know whether your IELTS results are valid or not. As we all know, validity of an IELTS test is actually 2 years. Okay, and it has to be valid until AOR, application of residence. Okay, that is after receiving your ITA. Now they will ask about your score. Okay, so for speaking 8.5, for listening 9, for reading 8, for writing 8. Okay, and then we press next. That was a CLB 10. Okay, like 8.5 and 7.5 in all others than listening score. Okay, so the next question is, do you have other language results? For example, if you took IELTS, then do you have TEF or like TCF? Obviously CELPIP and IELTS, both of them wouldn't apply, but another language like French language, if you have taken any test, then you would select that. Otherwise you will select none. Okay, in the last 3 years, how many skilled work experience do you have in Canada? It must have been full time. Okay, so if you have a experience, if you have a skilled work experience in the NOx 0AB, then you would select that one. And if you don't have a Canadian experience, then you select none. Okay, the next question is, if you do not have Canadian work experience during this period, please choose none of the above. Okay, so yeah, you see, 0, A and B, these skill levels, these are admissible for express entry. If your NOC is like skill level C or D, then you would not be eligible for express entry. That is one important point. Okay, now the next question is, in the last 10 years, how many years of skilled work experience do you have? It must have been continuous, paid, full time, and in only one occupation, because they are asking for your primary NOC right now. Okay, so you have to basically select your primary NOC, and for that the experience has to be at least 1 year. If the primary NOC has experience of less than one, then basically you cannot select that. So if you have like 6 or more in one occupation, you will select that, because I think there was this case from Nova Scotia where they selected people with more experience from their express entry profile. So if you have 6 years or more experience, then you should include that instead of just going with the like 3 years. That is the least required number of years for your work experience. If you're not sure of the knock for your job, you can obviously watch my video about finding a knock, okay, and or you can click on this page and you could look for it yourself, okay. Now, if you are like aiming for FST, Federal Skilled Trades, then your experience must be in one of these knocks that start with 72, 73, 82, 92, 632, or 633. Okay, and if you have experience within the last 5 years in the skilled trades, then you're going to select that. Okay, but since we don't have a skilled trade experience, we're not going to go with that. Now, the next question is obviously about the POF. Okay, so if you're a family of 4, you're going to select this option, at least 24,100 Canadian dollars. And the next question, what is the next question? How many family members do you have? Now, if you are going with spouse unaccompanying, still you will have to show proof of fund in Canadian dollars for the family size that you have. Okay, so you cannot like ignore your kids or your wife. You have to submit proof of fund for them, because it is obvious that you are going to bring them to Canada with you. Okay, do you have a valid job offer in Canada? If you have a valid job offer, then you're going to press yes, and they will either allot you 50 points or 200 points if you have a CEO level job offer. But that is actually easily foolable thing. Okay, now you're going to select your birth date. Let's say 1990, just an example. So what is the highest level of education for which you have either a Canadian degree or you have an ECA? Okay, so ECA must be in the last 5 years. It cannot be older than 5 years, because the main reason is that they basically want to ensure that the ECA body that has given you a particular equivalence, whether they have changed their rules or not. So that's why they want to get it renewed if it was older than 5 years. Okay, so that you get according to the fresh principle or rules, right? Okay? And now you have to check all that apply. The first thing is, if you have studied full time in Canada for 2 years or more. Okay, if you have at least 2 years of full time work experience in Canada, okay, in the knock level 0A or B. Number 3, these are basically adaptability points. If you have a relative in Canada who is 18 years or older, a citizen or permanent resident of Canada. Now, the important thing, a relative like uncle, niece, nephew, aunt, sibling, grandchild, grandparent, child, parent. These all relatives will give you minimum eligibility points. But when you come and create your express entry profile, only your child or your parent or your siblings, these are your close blood relatives. Only they will be able to give you an advantage in CRS of 15 points. Minimum eligibility points will be there, but they will not reflect in your express entry profile. Okay, so if you have none of the above, you select that and you press next. Okay, the marital status, if you are married, then I recommend you ask your wife to achieve CLB 9. Okay, because if she cannot score CLB 9, he or she is gonna drag your scores down. Okay, she's not a permanent resident of Canada. Now the next question will be about your spouse. Okay, whether they have full-time work experience in Canada or full-time studies in Canada. So if they have either of these two, you would select them. But we're going to go with a no for both questions. Okay, has your spouse taken an Ielts test? I say Ielts, but an English test, because self-pip is not available in most of the countries. Okay, so now again they want to know when did you take the test, because basically they cannot allow you to have English test result or a French test result for older than 2 years, and I don't really agree with that. I mean, your language capabilities or abilities, they're not going to change after 2 years. They're only going to improve, but the technicality of IELTS, it's going to play with you around. So that's why I don't like the idea. Okay, so for listening it has to be at least 8, and for others it has to be 7 at least. Otherwise your CRS scores are going to go down. Okay, so for example CLB 9, so CLB 9 is what you need to have. Okay, so to apply online, you will need this personal reference code. Now, if you have watched my recent video about express entry profile creation, then you would know that they asked for a personal reference code, and this is how you get it. This is how you will transfer the information you just entered in this eligibility tool to your express entry profile. Okay, so that will save your time. This is something you should be doing. Okay, and it will give you whether you're an eligible person or not. Okay, so express entry, basically the step one is that you will enter that personal reference code, this one XT0244, whatever it is. This code will expire on August 27th, that is 60 days from now. Okay, and it is valid only for this profile. When you apply online, you will need to enter your personal reference code. We will use this code to retrieve the information you have already provided for your profile. Okay, then the step two is print this page. You will need this information to apply. Okay, now obviously when you will be entering your details in express entry profile, you would want things to match. Okay, the step three is log in to submit your online profile, and you will need an electronic key. Okay, that is called a GC key, Government of Canada key. Step 4. So when you sign in to your electronic credentials, you will be automatically directed to your account, and you will be prompted to register for an account if you're a first time user. Okay, once you're signed in, then you select express entry to continue, because there are going to be three options, but you're going to select express entry to continue. Step 5, enter your personal reference code. After you select express entry, you will be asked to enter your personal reference code. Okay, so if you see my video on express entry profile, you would know where they have asked for the personal reference code. Okay, so step 6, once you have entered your personal reference code, you will be guided through the following steps. First, complete the express entry profile builder. Number 2, review your profile. And number 3, submit your profile by electronically signing it. Now, the last step is after you submit your profile, you will see a page that confirms that your profile has been submitted. It will have more information afterwards, and shortly after you submit, you will receive a confirmation message in your account. And that was all about the eligibility tool. It is an awesome feature. It will give you confirmation whether you are eligible for it or not, and it will also save your time for when you are going to prepare your express entry profile. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful. If you have not still liked this video, then please hit that like button. Okay, this is Ali Iftikhar. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.